Hello, I'm Tom MacArthur for the Spokane Association of Realtors. The Spokane Realty Board, as it is known in the beginning, is formed in this room in 1911, the Hall of the Doges of what was then Davenport's restaurant, now the Davenport Hotel. The story of the real estate men, as they are then called, is the story of Spokane, because each as much forms the other. It's morning in Spokane. On this morning in 2011, 500,000 people call the Spokane area home. 100 years ago, an organization is formed here on an abiding principle that is still true today. No matter where one lives here or what one does here, under all is the land.
We've done something with the early history of Spokane that nobody's ever done.
The business of real estate can be fun and games. One of the greatest catalysts to developing Spokane's near north side is Natatorium Park, which opens as a trolley park in 1889, the year of Washington statehood. Originally, there is no reason to ride the trolley to the end of the Boone-Astor line until entrepreneurs add amusements like dancing, baseball, and carnival rides on which patrons are advised to hold their hats. Natatorium is the Latin word for pool. Natatorium Park boasts the only heated pool in the state, the largest dance floor in the city, and is the first home of Spokane's beloved Loof Carousel. Manitou Park, named in 1903, reigns as Queen of Spokane Parks. Its biggest attraction is not the gardens, planned by the Olmsted brothers in 1917, but the zoo, which closes in 1932, a victim of the Great Depression. The United States is pulled into World War II in December of 1941, the first attack on American soil since the War of 1812. The event unites the country overnight in what will be the most widespread war and deadliest conflict in human history. The War Department quickly looks to establish bases out west to support the Pacific Theater. It sends an officer out to investigate 3 potential sites in Washington state: Seattle, Tacoma, and Spokane. The first city to come up with $10,000 will get the project. On his train ride back to Washington, D.C., the officer receives a telegram from Spokane saying the money is in hand and a small parcel of land on the West Plains is secured. Spokane gets the base.
The Great Pacific Northwest begins right here. World's Fair 74. Spokane, Washington, site of the World Environmental Fair.
Spokane is the smallest city ever to host a World's Fair when it welcomes the world in 1974. It is the first exposition with an environmental theme, celebrating tomorrow's fresh, new environment.
At 12 noon on this day, acting in my capacity as President of the United States, it is my high honor and privilege to declare Expo 74 officially open to all the citizens of the world.
The seed for Expo 74 is planted in 1959. When business leaders form Spokane Unlimited to reclaim downtown Spokane, lost to suburbanization and industrial development. With leadership from the Spokane Association of Realtors, the group purchases Havermale Island in the middle of the Spokane River as the focus of a downtown makeover. Cleaning up downtown Spokane is twinned with a celebration of the city's centennial, and leaders begin to dream of something big. Small real estate gems, too, define who we are in Spokane. For example, 100 years ago, a young boy in this house opens the Spokesman Review newspaper every morning before going to school and laughs at the stories in the Bingville Bugle. The lad so identifies with the make-believe characters that his family gives him the nickname, Bing. You hear his most famous recording every December. The White Christmases, just like the ones I used to know, are celebrated here in the Gonzaga University Alumni House, the childhood home of Bing Crosby.
Just like the ones I used to know.
You likely do not know the first people to live in this house, Mr. and Mrs. Bruce and Sonora Dodd. You likely do, though, celebrate the national holiday which Mrs. Dodd invents in 1910. She is the mother of Father's Day. Since a national holiday originates here, this is the only private residence in Spokane that is a National Historic Landmark. Shakespeare says, "Past is prologue." As we look back on a century of development in Spokane, we see our future, too. Here is a community that is small enough and big enough to get things done. Tomorrow will be a good morning again in Spokane.